So let me tell you something. Enjoy this show because it ain't going to last much longer.
And thank you for staying up later. I'm Tom Snyder for Bob Costas. There is nothing wrong with your set. And my guest tonight is Howard Stern, who is radio in New York and Philadelphia. And if Howard Stern has his way, will soon be radio in Los Angeles and much of the rest of the country. His ratings are tops right now in New York and Philadelphia. Howard Stern is also seen syndicated nationally on television, mostly in the late night time period, and also on the superstation WWWWOR. Howard, it's a pleasure to meet you after all these years of mutual attack.
Well, and let me just say something. It's thrilling to hear you say my credits because it actually sounds like I've got something going on. It's very, very impressive.
And you think you don't?
No, it's very exciting. You know, TV show, barely a TV show, but a TV show nevertheless. And also I'm in Washington radio.
Audiences who have read about you have heard you defined as the king of shock radio.
Are we going to work out this thing between us first before you go into the serious
There's nothing
interview?
between us, pal. We do this half hour and we never see each other again.
No. There is something between
there's
us.
nothing between us.
You have bad rapped me before. I've read various newspaper articles where you have said that you don't like what I do. Isn't that true?
I have said that I am not a fan of your format. I do not care for what is called shock radio.
And you listen to me?
Because I can't listen to you in Los Angeles.
But do you think I'm shock radio?
I think
do you think that's an
Now, you want to come over here or...
No, wait a second. I'm curious. You think that that's an appropriate title for what I do, shock radio?
No, I don't, but that's the handle that you wear in the press. You know, I read newspapers, too, and they define Howard Stern as shock radio. Hey, listen, Howard...
But then you hear my format. I'm curious.
Wait a second.
I'm curious.
Wait.
You're an intelligent man.
For years, they ran stories about Snyder that he was controversial, that he was abrasive, that he would bring guests into the studio and chew them up. Do you feel chewed up at this point?
Well, I'm hardly getting a word in edgewise.
Well, but the point I'm trying to make is we all read things in the paper, and when you have something to say, you will.
No, but you lived in New York. Well, calm down, Tom, really. He hasn't been on network television a long time. He's got a lot to say, and he wants to get it all done. No, but all serious. And it's good to see you on television again, even though you hate this, right?
I don't think that you're shock radio. It's just that the kind of things that you and others do on radio, I am not a fan of. Now, that doesn't make
you... You don't think I'm funny?
No,
you think I'm funny?
I don't think you're funny.
And what don't you like about it?
I watched the cassette of your show last night, the television show. You had lesbian dating game. You talked about the Sammy Davis cancer man. You know,
right.
This is all funny stuff to some people. Pal, to me, it's not funny. Now, that does not make you unfunny. It makes me...
makes you out of touch.
Out of touch, okay.
Right.
And I admit that. I will admit that I'm out of touch with the Howard Stern kind of humor.
I think you do like me. I think that you're afraid to admit that you like me. Because there's something inside us all, something evil inside us all that likes me.
There's no question about it. For example, 20 minutes after the shuttle went down in 1985, there were jokes all over the broadcast newsrooms of this country about the Space Shuttle Challenger,
that's right.
When the war started between Iraq and the United States and the coalition, there were jokes all over the map about the war.
That's right.
But you see, to me, in my out-of-date, out-of-touch, out-of-sync, out-of-mind way of thinking, those jokes we tell in the dressing room, we don't tell them out here.
You are so wrong.
You
are so wrong because, first of all, what my radio show and my television show are not about making jokes about tragedies. That is not the idea of the show. What the idea of the show is to convey real honesty on the air.
Okay.
To get away from the phony type of broadcasting where someone sits there and bites.
You mean like this?
Well, in a way, yeah. Where people bite their tongue and are afraid to say anything. I mean, there are a million things. If I was interviewing you, I'd love to know about your days at NBC. I'd love to know your problems with NBC. I'd love to know your beefs with NBC.
But would you also want to know my toilet habits?
Yeah, I would.
Really?
Yeah. What are your toilet habits?
I want to tell you, Howard, you got to get out more, pal.
No, I would like to know
you spend too much time at home.
I don't know anything about you. I don't know your sex life. I don't know things about you. I'm curious. But you could always refuse to answer, but that would be interesting to see you refuse to answer.
Right.
This is like two mental patients arguing. It's 1:30-something in the morning here. They came in to plug my new CD. I don't believe it.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let me get this out of the way.
No, let me do the plug.
No, because you'll take too long.
No, I won't. I won't take... I swear, trust me.
You're going to love this.
Oh, this is unreal. Thank God they fired this man.
This is, it's either fired or I left. Whatever you want.
Did you leave?
Whatever you want us to read in the paper. This is the new CD of things that you never heard on the radio. And once you listen to it, you'll know why.
That's not true. What that tape that you're holding, Crucified by the FCC. Not available in record stores, first of all.
And there's a reason.
And everything that is on that CD has been banned by the United States government. They say that stuff is too dirty for you to listen to on the radio. I released it for a reason.
Right.
A, to make a profit.
Well, okay, good.
And B, for the public to hear it and say, wait a second, what the hell is the government going after here? So I set up a phone line. Can I give the phone number?
Why would you give the phone?
One time. Give me a plug, huh?
They're going to blip it out anyway.
Would they really?
Of course
what,
they
to
would.
order the tape? Why do people come on this show if you can't get a plug on?
If you came on here...
Bob Costas? I want to talk to him. He lets you get a number. What the hell is going on? You're really a pain in the ass.
Give the damn number. Stern.
Go back to your little interview.
Let me just try something here.
Yeah, go ahead. Word association?
You define yourself as a, believe me, if I started with word association and Howard Stern, they couldn't put that on. You're a broadcaster. I've read that, you like doing radio in the morning. You like being number one. You aspire to do television. And Howard, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I did that. Everybody does that. What's your definition of broadcasting? I mean, your dad was in this business. He had a recording studio in the New York area, so you've been around broadcasting since you were a kid.
Right.
What do you define this as?
First of all, my father was barely in this business. It was frightening how barely my father was in this business. If only I had a father who was successful in this business, it might have gone a little easier. Secondly, the way I define broadcasting is my father. Oh, my father. I don't think, on his best year, I don't think he made $25,000. But, I'm not going to be a rich man when he dies.
Because he didn't have a Costas program to come on and hold up the damn videotape and hawk the numbers.
That's right. But he asked my definition of broadcasting. I don't have a definition of broadcasting.
When you got your first job, what did you want to do with your career as a radio guy?
I wanted to be on radio. My goal in life was to be on radio and do a goofy show, to go on the air and entertain people. When I was a kid, I'd go sometimes into work with my father, and we'd be on the Long Island Expressway going into New York. And it would be 7 o'clock in the morning, and there'd be back-to-back traffic.
Gotcha.
No one could move. And for 2 hours, the guy's stuck in his car, and there's nothing funny, nothing entertaining on the radio. I used to sit there and go, if there was something good on the radio, if there was something fun to listen to, people would worship you. They would thank you. And that's what happens when I walk through the streets. People just thank me for giving them something. You, Tom, don't get into it because you, of course, have limousines and chauffeurs and things like this, and you don't have to commute to work. And when you commute to work, you need something entertaining to listen to.
Just a minute.
Tom, stop pontificating on my show.
No.
I'm here for plugs.
You talk about me in the limousines. I walked over here from a hotel today. We're painting. Bravo. But does the audience know that Howard Stern's makeup person preceded him here by a half an hour today?
Right.
Okay. That Howard Stern's makeup person was very concerned that Mr. Stern's Avion water was ready when he got to the studio.
Look at me. Of course someone's got a makeup person.
Howard, you want all the trappings.
Well, of course I do.
You want limousines.
But I don't deny that. You do.
You make fun of me because...
And what is wrong with wanting those things?
But you make fun of me for wanting it or for having had it. Howard, you want the same things everybody else wants.
But I accuse
you want to make $1 million.
You of being out of touch.
Your record.
I accuse you of being out of touch. You asked me what my theory of broadcasting is. Guys like you want to broadcast in a phony style. You want everything nice. You want nothing provocative. You just want to go along. Everything should be fine. No one should shock anybody with the truth. Nobody should do anything. Everything should be just fine. All the network executives should be happy. To me, the exciting part of broadcasting is turning on that listener in his car, who's trapped in his car for 2 hours, and then he finally makes it to work, and you know what? He doesn't want to leave his car because he doesn't want to miss what we're doing.
And what do you want to happen with the Howard Stern show on television? What do you want the viewer to come away with?
I want the Howard Stern show on television to go away, quite frankly. I know, it's a lot of work. It's just a tremendous amount of work, and we only have 2 full-time people on my show.
I was watching your show on videotape last night,
right?
The most recent version, and as I watched it, I said to myself, how does Letterman stay on the air in the face of this competition, in the face of this brilliance?
This brilliance, by the way, just pulled an 8 rating every week and beat Saturday Night Live every week. It's been on.
Please, don't give me ratings. Don't give me beat Saturday Night Live.
Well, take a look at the ratings.
Give me what you want the viewer to have. The viewer doesn't care about the ratings. The viewer wants to have a laugh. The viewer wants to be entertained.
You are so combative. In fact, you must want this job very badly.
I don't want this job.
My God almighty, why don't you relax? You're anal retentive. What does the guy want? I'm going to try drive off a bridge when I get out of this show.
I'm anal compulsive.
You are
Get it
What is
right.
it? You don't like your radio? He says to me, I swear to God, we're about to sit down to do the show, and he says to me, I don't want to do this ever again. I don't want to be on network television. This looks like a man who's pretty well driven to get himself back on network television. Do you agree?
I'm trying to give the viewers a profile of the Howard Stern they can't hear on radio.
This is like an interrogation. Why don't you try to be nice? What the hell's the matter with you?
Yes, Howard.
Calm down. Now, what was the question again?
How you feeling, Howard?
I can't figure out how old you are. That's my problem. I don't know what it is going on here. What happened when you were an anchorman for a while? You have had more careers. Someone ought to interview this man. What am I doing
I
here?
have done more farewells than the student prince.
I
You're
know,
right.
but you're doing all right. Look, you make a good living. You asked me a question, and I forget what it was.
Yes, I did.
All right. Well, you were being very provocative.
Forgotten what the question was.
Oh, I blew it. Go ahead.
Nothing at all to do with
So
you.
what were
or
you saying?
with me. Just wondering about your television show and, how...
The television show is very successful for the same reason.
I have to do the commercial now. We can't have your...
Can you hold up my tape?
I'm not holding
Give the
up your
phone number.
tape.
Give me a break.